How's it going, guys? And welcome back to another Borderlands video. Today, I decided to cover a topic that I personally find kind of interesting. That is data-mined guns. There are currently 8 guns that are only found within the files of the games and are completely unobtainable within the actual game itself without the use of like a save editor. Now, there has been a sort of rotation of these guns. Originally, the Mongol and the Rhino and the Scorpio pistol were all data-mined and not actually available in the game or being added in a later patch. But we are quite far out from any sort of consistent patches, so let's see what there is currently. This is also done in the style of like a sort of list video, but the order doesn't actually matter. It's just completely arbitrary to however I felt like numbering them. So starting us off at number 8 is the Bite Size. Bite Size is a legendary Jacobs pistol. Fired if the projectile were to hit something like a wall or an enemy, it will explode into very bright and very many particle effects. The explosion itself does not actually do any damage. However, the projectiles fired from this gun do an initial damage and then they leave a sticky. Sticky then explodes for additional damage. Now, this gun may look similar even down to the item card, and that's because it is an exact copy-paste of the Duck, or the Duke. But this does end up leading me to believe that this is a gun that was never intended for use in the game. I think that this was more of a debug gun, or like a sort of stress test gun, just to see how many particles the game could actually handle during various combat. What is interesting, though, is that it does have a unique name and a unique red text to it. So perhaps they were just using the Duck as a base, and they were going to change it to be different and just never really got around to it before it was scrapped. I'm not sure. But moving on to number 7 and 6, I'm grouping these two together because I do believe that they are heavily related. That is the Heckle and Hyde. Heckle and Hyde are epic torque pistols. They both come in ×2 and are element locked. Heckle is locked to incendiary and the Hyde is locked to corrosive. Now, there really isn't anything too special about these guns. Neither of them have an alternating firing mode, so they're just impact only. And aside from that, they're just extraordinarily shit. I could barely kill anything with these. It was a little bit disappointing. It doesn't seem like the damage on the card is that bad, so I don't really know what's going on with these. But yeah, no, you can see it takes me forever to even tickle something. Now, we do actually have an enemy in the game over at the Jacobs estate on Eden 6 called Heckle and Hyde. I do believe that these were initially supposed to drop from him, depending on what form you actually killed him in, but it does seem that those were never actually implemented, obviously. If we do get one big final patch, I do hope to actually see these return. I think it's a really cool idea, especially if it is that they drop differently depending on what form that you kill them in. I just hope they get a little bit of a buff that comes along with that. At number 5, we have the P2P Networker. This is probably one of the more polished ones that we have on this list. And it's also the first that was actually obtainable for a very brief period of time. P2P Networker is a legendary Model 1 SMG, and it's kind of like a mix between the plasma coil and the redistributor. The projectiles fired deal splash damage and chain to other enemies on each hit. So think of like using the redistributor with Zane's barrier, where it amps every single shot to chain. This just does that. And it was actually available for a short period of time during the initial launch of the Diamond Loot Room. It's very quickly removed and has not since returned, but they did say that they had plans for it to. Although seeing as it is almost 2023 and we have not heard any word of a new patch coming anytime soon, I wouldn't get your hopes up. Another little unique quirk of this is the alternate firing mode is labeled Gun Team Please Fix. I don't know if this is actually a bug or if it's just like a funny little haha. Number 4 is the Portals in Shite. The Portals in Shite is a Atlas legendary assault rifle, and that's kind of it. It doesn't have any sort of special effect to speak of. I will use this one to speculate again, though. Perhaps it was originally supposed to kind of work like an actual portal gun, where you could place like 2 portals with your alternate firing mode and then fire through them and the bullets would come out the other. Although, of course, this is a very complex mechanic, so it's no wonder that it would have been scrapped if that is true. Also entirely possible that I was entirely overthinking that, and instead it just was supposed to come from those portal chests, as this was actually added into the game with DLC 2. But speculating over the top and fun ideas is fun, so fuck you. Anyways, there really is nothing unique to talk about with this gun. It's kind of just a standard Atlas assault rifle, except it does have pretty solid damage, but that's about it for this one. At number 3, we have the Superstreamer. The Superstreamer is a epic TDR shotgun and was available for a short period of time, much like the P2P Networker. except this one was actually intended to be available. You could get it from Twitch Prime drops, however those have since never returned, although I wish they would, because this gun is kind of good. For just firing, it's pretty solid, and for chucking, it's really good. It's a really, really easy way to get a homing Merv shotgun, which is really strong for chucking builds. It also has a sick as fuck stand, and I wish that that was part of the Prime drop, but no, we just got like a charm and a gun. This, much like the P2P Networker, was available for a period of time. However, most people that have one, it is locked to 57, as that was the level cap at the time. So it's on this list because it might as well be unobtainable, and it was available for probably about the same amount of time as the P2P Networker. At number 2, we have the Ice Age. The Ice Age is a cryo legendary Torg rocket launcher. Fires out in a heavy arc with a very big splash radius, and I'm sure that already is sounding incredibly familiar. It is a nukem with 800 more splash radius. That's what the nukem needed. It is almost impossible not to kill yourself with this. I don't know who designed this or what the idea behind it was, but I see why it's not in the game. And finally, at number 1 is the Manic Pixie Dream Gun. Now this is one that I actually intentionally placed here because I think it's the most, unique. Manic Pixie Dream Gun is a legendary TDR shotgun. The chuck on this is pretty bad. It's just becomes a turret and shoots, and it does not do a whole hell of a lot. So this is definitely one that I do believe is meant to be shot, and it's not bad. It gets the job done, and it shoots pretty good damage. The issue is that this is a crit on fucking steroids. The crit sometimes falls out of your hands and you can just pick it back up and there you go. Manic Pixie Dream Gun will often jump right out of your hands and start running. You have to then kill it and pick it back up. And no, oh no, it doesn't go back into your hands. No, it goes back into your inventory. You have to go through your inventory, you have to put it back in your hands, and then you can keep firing it. Whoever designed this gun has something that they need to work out, I think. I sense a lot of pent-up frustration and rage and anger, and they're taking it out on the wrong people. No one deserves this. I put myself through it, I chose to do this, and I don't feel like I deserved it. But that's gonna about do it. This is definitely a different style of content than what I have been doing, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. Please like, comment, subscribe, all of that. I hope to see you in the next one.